Welcome back, everybody. It's Gary from Nerdrotic. I'm live in San Diego, and the connection is probably going to suck. So, I'll put myself on camera for a second just to let you know it's really me. There. Hello. But I saw the connection from the one this morning, and it looked terrible. So, we're just going to stick with imagery today. Now, I'm going to be doing some super chat square ups mixed in with some of the cringiest panels from Comic-Con, which I'm sure you will all enjoy. I might attend a couple of these just for fun, but there is no shortage of them at all. Now, I had a different live stream, or not live stream. I had a different thumbnail up for this live stream, and it wouldn't let me go live until I removed it. Now, it wasn't anything terrible. I'll show you the image of the person I picked up. I mean, this is just an image that's everywhere. Hang on. Let's see if I can find it again. There we go. And let's see if we can present that to you guys. I'm not going to show the thumbnail because I don't want to get in that much trouble, but it was just her, and it just said cringe right next to it. But they didn't like it. I was confirmed in the chat. It was showing me video not available. I removed this, and boom, I was able to live stream. So I doubt there's any notifications going out on this. But in the meantime, we will just deal with it. All right. So let's start with a couple of these super chats are from the Inquisition. So we're going to be talking about some Bond stuff still. And there we go. And I think I caught up to the last one. I'll probably repeat a couple just to be safe. So, of course, the Bond stuff, that's going to be my next video, too. There's a follow-up on my Bond video because I found a very interesting article with a very interesting take. One that you guys will agree with. I found an article of somebody on our site, and I think I found an article written by somebody who pays a lot of attention to the Fandom Menace because they used Fandom Menace talking points. It'll be out in the morning. So anything hashtag Me Too lost all credibility when everyone ignored what happens to the kids, e.g. the Coreys. What happens to the child actors is disgusting. And that was from Tim Riggs for $4.99. And I agree. Now, I read that one before, but that was a good one. I bet another A-Team remake is coming with Leslie Jones as Mr. T. Says Piano Dean for $5. I'll show you guys these super chats. Hang on. That was funny. And I'll mix it in, and then we'll do like a couple super chats. Then I'll read from the chat, and then we'll do some cringy panels, and then when this is done, it'll go on Nerdrotic Live. For Scarlett Johansson defense, Felicity Huffman wasn't really transgender in Trans America. They never attacked her. She was praised. JC Shaggy for $5 agreed, and they also didn't attack Sean Penn for playing a gay mayor in the 70s. He had never been a mayor in the 70s, and as it pointed out in one of the tweets I read in my video, he had never been assassinated either. So, but I can tell you a lot of things Sean Penn has done, but I might get in trouble. My tattoo artist used to hang out with him. Lonnie Holcomb, don't just starve them, make alternative product. Exactly. That is going to be a big subject amongst us YouTubers during Comic-Con. So of course this is the big celebration of the comic book while the comic book retailing industry burns down. Yay, let's all celebrate and trade our Funko Pops and make cutesy putey comics. Yay. And then go yay me. Say something like yay me. A couple of years ago, super chats were theater money. That's true. Gisner for $2. Jonathan Hurst says, Gary, what action figure on the wall is your favorite? Well, my favorite one here is Q, obviously. But my favorite one on the wall, I'd have to think about that one. I don't have a favorite. I really don't. I think it would probably be what's hanging on the wall. Probably one of my vintage Mego plastic figures. Probably my Hulk vintage Mego plastic one, because it is just so cool and detailed. And that was one of the first figures I had as a kid. My favorite action figure is my 1/6 scale Christopher Reeve Superman, by far. Unhinged Crank. What if this female 007 gets killed off in the first action by Bond's brother Blofeld, and he has to come back? I think there's a lot of speculation that she'll get killed in this movie, and I thought it was kind of a weird way to appease all the people who are wanting the female Bond. It's like, here, you got one. And then they go back to it. But now I'm more convinced that they're going to go the other way. Just look at the comic books. And the people who own the Bond franchise have creative say over any comic book made. And they are totally okay with what's going on. John T. Net, wait, what? DC is going to comic convention, or did I mishear? You misheard. Doomcock is not going to the comic convention. I am here. Meanwhile, Judi Dench was one of the best heads of MI6 and Bond. I've been done with Bond since the last one. It dragged. It was horrible, says JC Shaggy for $5. Yes, the introspective Bond is as boring as shit. Dean Heiss. So is anyone keeping track of woke points? Who's winning? I know we're losing. Oh, that was a good one for $5. Yes, indeed. Indeed, we are losing. Okay. Here we go. Let's see how the chat's doing. How you guys doing? What's up? I haven't seen the Simon Callow interview. Should I be warned about that, Chris Badwolf? I will look at it. I will look at it when I'm done here. FYI, he did play Dickens in Doctor Who. I'm wondering what he said then. Yes. Nice. Good. Okay. Let's go. Got Nina Fabiano, Daniel Kratz, Chris Potts. R2-D2 has shown up. Man, I'm really sorry the treatment you've gotten in the Star Wars films. Death's 0079, Ancient Reapers, and Mikey is here. Tickaman Blade, Winter, Chris Baxter, Svi Lebetkin, Brad Kingtut, and Sam Hall. Random Brad Creates. What's up, everybody? All right, let's get to the panels. We'll go to Thursday. Now, you're going to help me pick. And this one, it starts off with kind of a cringy panel. So, Comics State of the Union. And I want you, okay, comics go through ages. They go through the Golden Age, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age. But this is the Blue Age of comics. The Blue Age of comics. The rise of Kamala Khan and comics librarianship. The rise of Kamala Khan and the Blue Age of comics. Comics do have the blues, and Kamala Khan is part of that. I completely agree. No, DC Collectibles, dynamic story creation theme. No, sounds boring. Fan tunes from fan to work for the band. Boring. Okay. Oh, Funcast Live. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Let's bring our Funkos and have a Funcast. A Funko Funcast. Funko, okay, they do make some good toys aside from the Pops. But I don't like the Pops. IDW and Hasbro Transformers A Bold Universe. Is Mags going to be there? Nope, she's not. That's funny. Jim Starlin. Okay, that's a good panel. I would go to that. All seriousness, Jim Starlin was my favorite artist and writer when I was a kid. I was obsessed with Jim Starlin. I thought his work on Warlock just amazed me, and it still does. It still does. No, that sounds artsy fartsy. Spotlight on Maggie Thompson being celebrity adjacent. Oh, Maggie Thompson, 30-year-old co-creator of Comics Buyer Guide. 30-year-old, that's 30-year co-editor. Okay, what is her name, age? Does that really, I thought, okay, I'm confused. Are we identifying ourselves by age now? Or, okay, Nerdrotic, 50-year-old YouTuber. Okay, bodies and nerd culture. The media we love. Oh, here we go. The media we love affect. Okay, they can't even write this. The media we love affect how we view ourselves and talk like caveman. The media we love affect how we view ourselves and how we feel about our bodies. Sam DeLeve, Calesto 6, moderates a panel of creators and fitness experts from across the nerd world, including Sarah Kuhn, Heroin Complex, I Love You So Mochi, like mochi balls, Christy Black, Hero's Journey Fitness. Now, if it's telling people to like go out and exercise, that's actually a good panel. I think that's very necessary. Now, Unreal Gaming, no. Comic-Con Film School, yikes. Roger Zalansky. Oh, Lord of Light and George R. R. Martin's Skin Trade collide. Oh man, they can't have Popeye at Comic-Con. That is some toxic masculinity right there. Best movies never made. That would actually be kind of cool. Funimation. Oh, there you go. Funimation, My Hero Academia. Are there any of the Weebor people in there? I don't recognize all the names. But Funimation's going to be there. Somebody called Nick Rekieta and Tug and Yellow Flash. My Hero Academia panel. Well, my kid loves that show. How to get news coverage. Small press Oh, here we go. Small press publishers, what makes the difference between an item that will get news coverage, previews, and interviews and what doesn't? A lot of publishers have no idea what to submit to the press, how to submit it, and why they are being overlooked for coverage. Well, they are obviously not SJWing up their comic books enough. Comics journalist Rick Offenberger, First Comics News, Archie Comics, moderates this panel of comics journalists who will tell you what they are looking for in your submission. I just told you. Panelists including Tim Chismer, Fangoria, co-chair of Horror Writers Association, First Comics News, Glenn Howman, blah, 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 people, stuff, things, Broadsword Comics. Okay. Are these the people you want to be asking this question of now? You know, this is a panel of 2011. I think this would have been a relevant panel in 2011. I think it's a little different now. Comic book law school. One of my friends used to, was it law school? Mark Greenberg. Comics. Advanced. No, that's boring. Comic-Con in the 70s. I remember it in the 70s. Cosplay 101. Oh, here's one for Jeremy. Lost fans unite with Jay and Jack. Are you a fan of ABC's Lost? Then join Jay and Jack Glatfelter for the 13th annual San Diego Comic-Con panel. The co-hosts of the popular Lost podcast with Jay and Jack will be joined by podcasters Ralph Apel, the Darmalars and Kaju, whatever, and Joe Pointed Griffin, post-show recaps, co-founder, and Cancer Gets Lost to discuss what? Cancer Gets Lost? To discuss the thoughts, theories, and legacy of one of the best serialized television shows of all time, and touch on other popular shows such as Game of Thrones, Deadwood, Watchmen. How is that a popular show? It hasn't come out yet. I hope to make it very unpopular. That is my mission. Stranger Things, that's a good show. The process of bringing comics to life, reading and raising our voices free, comics to community organization, community organizing, huh? Free from comics to community organizing. Hear from the creators who have tapped the graphic medium to record the history and experiences of marginalized people. to take control of their own narratives and to inspire a new generation of activists, as well as from librarians crafting large-scale initiatives around comics that focus on historical, underrepresented communities, with Cole Ramos, Ezra Clayton Daniels, Candice Mack, Maya Kobeb, and Henry Barajas. Well, color me not there. I will certainly be skipping that one. But they have a lot of these panels early on in the morning. These are what I used to call the PBS panels. But there used to be like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them. There is many, many, many. Here you go. I recommend this to everybody in the chat. Sassy, smart women of pre-superhero comics. Brad Ricka, Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Superboys. Trina Robbins, Last Girl Standing, The Great Women Cartoonist, Alex Grand, CBH, and Nikki Wheeler Nicholson. DC Comics Before Superman discussed the legacy of heroines Miss Fury, Sandra of the Secret Service, and Sally Norris of Bart Reagan. Spy, all of whom appeared before Superman and Wonder Woman, as with a lot of characters, including the Yellow Kid. Spotlight on Ragiri, Star Trek, Year 5 Writer's Room, that's a comic book. Superhero Eye in Real Life, Avengers of Bullying and Injustice. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Got your own personal Thanos? Come avenge injustice and Impractical Joker with Impractical Joker's Joe Gatto, because nothing is more funny than talking about how bullying is bad, especially from comedians. He'll tell you how and leave you ROFL. He'll be joined by celebs Adam Bowski and Jeff Parsley, founders of No Hate campaign, NOH8, to show why. What do you want to bet? This is just my theory here, that these two actors both got in trouble and this is their community service. To show why Birth Movies Death called this panel one of the most beautiful conversations we've ever had the opportunity to listen to. Is that the Birth Movie Death website with like the creeper Me Too guy who was doing the freaky shit? I'm thinking it was. Featuring Dr. Janina Scarlett, author of Superhero Therapy Quest. Okay. I think things have just gone a bit too far. Curriculum creators Brandon Matsalia and Veni Matsalia, Black Girl Nerds. I'm sorry, I'm cringing. I knew I'd get there. Bettina Hausman, Executive Director, United Nations Association of San Diego, and Coalition founder Chase Masterson. Wow, that sounds like an elite. Star Trek DS9, Big Doctor Who, Big Finish. Yes, I know who Chase is. Join the conversation on how we can be a superhero against bullying, racism, misogyny, LGBTQ bullying, cyberbullying, and other forms of injustice. Being born is an injustice. You just came out of the birth canal of victim. You did. And this is a way to figure that out. This is a way to figure. Oh, probably the cringiest panel of the day. Terminator Dark Fate. Paramount Pictures brings a Terminator Dark Fate panel discussion and footage presentation with talent and filmmakers. Talent should be in air quotes. All right, so I'm going to get to some chat here. Hi, everybody. All right. Here, I'll put myself on screen here. This is day one. This is day one. I wonder if there's going to be a diversity in comics panel this year. I definitely want to check that out. Now, I talked about it on the earlier podcast. There is a panel that's good, and it's the crowdfunding panel. And I guess Billy Tucci and Doug TeNapel are going to be a part of that one Saturday at 1. And I will be there. Unfortunately, the internet sucks at cons, so I am not going to be able to. I wouldn't even bother. I'll record some videos and then I'll have to upload them at night. because I've tried. I might be able to, but it takes a couple hours for a video to upload on my phone from there. But if I get some good stuff, I'll put it up. But most of it will just be saved for live streams. Now, I've got a video coming out in the morning about James Bond, but I want to direct you to one of our friends here in the Phantom Menace, Midnight's Edge. Midnight's Edge's Andre. Last night I saw it, so I don't know when it came out, did a great video on the marketing of Terminator, and he was effing spot on that. And it's something we've been saying for a long time. They're doing this shit on purpose. Now, I know you guys know that. It's obvious, but somebody might not. So this woke marketing that Bond is doing and Terminator is doing and that Captain Marvel did and Ghostbusters 2016, it's because of Captain Marvel. They have found that the access media has been a very useful idiot in this, and all they have to do is snap their fingers, put in some kind of cause, and the access media is more than happy to give them all the free advertising they need. Now, people have been starting to recognize this for a long time. Bounding in the Comics did a great article on it, and I found another article where another writer is just like, this has got to stop. And I'm happy I'm seeing this, and I think this is that, the pebble. How does Gandalf put it? That well, at least in the Merry and Pippin are the pebble that starts they're going to be the pebble that starts the avalanche. This is the turning of the tide. This could be happening. And, you never think about the approach of people just don't like to look bad, even if it's for something they agree with. It's the bee in the access media's bonnet that they are called shills all the time. And now they are shills that are taken for granted. So this access that they've been kissing so much ass for, they're not getting it that much anymore. And they're just expected to jump whenever Disney or any of these companies ask for it. And now you're seeing like dying franchises like Bond trying to pull this shit, and they're going, wait a minute. Like, they're starting to pick up on it, and it's like, oh, that's a good access media. Good boy. Here's a treat for you. And it's evident with Star Trek. It's evident with everything. Now, we still got a long way to go, but it's nice to see. All right, let's get to a couple of new super chats, and man, this is going to be like a 9-hour live stream, but that's okay. We can handle that. I got to get over to those. I'm going to read this newest one, but then I'll get to the first ones. To All Out of Bubblegum, $5. Thank you for taking one for the team, Gary, and reading that crud off. And the sound of that, everyone heard from the 300 people doing an eye roll. Yes, we all sprained our eyes doing it. All Out of Bubblegum. Thank you. I'm getting over to my super chatness. So I heard about Thor 4, but I know no news about it. I just saw it pop up. I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to do. I did one today, and I got one ready for tomorrow, but after that, Comic-Con starts, and it's crazy, and Jeremy gets here. There it is right there. And once Jeremy gets here, it should be interesting. Otherwise, I was just hanging out with my family tonight. Saw my father-in-law. He's doing great. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to show, the connection probably sucks, so you don't want to look at me. Let's look at the super chats, shall we? Okay, so we got Svi Lebetkin. Hey, Gary, love the late night streams. Hey, you're welcome. You will be getting many of them this week. You're going to get 2 to 3 a day. That's one thing I will be doing a lot because I love live streaming. It's great. But this one got really suppressed by YouTube. You know what? F it. I don't care. Here, damn it. Here is, hang on. I'm going to show you you already saw the picture, but here. That's what they didn't like. I spent like 3 minutes on Photoshop on that. They don't understand how hard I worked on that. they're probably not going to like that very much, but oh well. Okay. Kevin Yatsamaki for two $1 super chat. I don't know if you meant to do that. Did you accidentally put in? I wish I could refund you, Kevin. I'm sorry, but you get double props from me. It goes towards making more content. Sorry, I'm talking a little quieter now because, the walls are paper thin. As a matter of fact, I heard somebody upstairs getting it on pretty good. Like it was going. Props to them. They lasted longer than, 10 minutes, but the bed was thumping. I'm like, what the Jesus, God. You go. That's good. Love is what brings people together. I'm sure there was lots of love involved in a Motel 6 Whiskey Tango hotel. Don Kogan for £1.99. Hey, hi, Gary. New Star Wars film has R2 Me Too redroid. Oh, dude, we need an R2 Me Too shirt with like a Harvey Weinstein head on it or something. I don't know. I was very proud of myself I couldn't have been the only one who thought of it, but I did the Me Too with 007. So I just used the 2 and put a 7 at the end and suggested that as a title. So it just says Me Too with a 7 on the back. That was very good, Dan. Thank you very much. I got a good chuckle out of that. Chris Potts for $5. I live in POV I live in POV. If you can go in POV, okay, I'm missing POV. I could be just too dumb to understand that. If you can go any place in the US, where would it be? I have to save for years for a vacation that would, where would you suggest to a guy in my place? Well, Chris Potts, any place in the United States, one place? That's tough, man. This place is huge and it's really different and it depends on what you like. But if I was from outside the country, Yosemite, it's kind of touristy, but it's really beautiful and great. What's the best city in San Diego? Is a pretty good city to come to. I'd come down here. It's beautiful. The people are pretty. The city is pretty. The weather's pretty nice. It's clean. New York is pretty cool to go to too. And Boston's a great city. Chicago's a great city. I wouldn't go to San Francisco, but I'm like an outdoorsy dude. So I would go to Yosemite. I like, Monument National Park in Utah. It's freaking beautiful. New Mexico, Santa Fe is great. So many places to choose, but I don't know, man. Like if you're from outside, like that's a good question. I'd go to San Diego. It's great. Everybody loves when people fall in love with San Diego, and everybody who lives there here loves it too. They're overly obsessed with it, and quite honestly, I am too. I've lived in San Francisco for 18 years. I am not a San Franciscan. I am a SoCal through and through. You hear Jeremy is leaving the High Council, Echo Base Network, $1.99. What? No, he's not leaving the High Council. Why? Nah. I thought it was just Mahler. Mahler was substituting. What is going on? Echo Base Network, DM me on that one. I apparently am clueless on things. I love everybody. Okay. Everybody in the Fandom Menace is brilliant. I have no issues with anybody. I think we, not saying this, but like, let's just say in the future, if there's any drama, we need to keep our eye on the prize. If we are ever, and I'm not saying anything's happened, that could be nothing. I'm just saying if something does happen, keep your eye on the prize. It does not benefit anybody, or if anything, keep that stuff off the air. But I'm not saying anything's going on. I have no idea. I love everybody. Chris Potts, $2. I am sorry for going off topic. Don't be sorry, Chris. This is a live stream. We can talk about whatever we want. And listen, I don't even care about the algorithm on this one. I will. I'm going to flip around from a bunch of stuff. Saruin of House Roundhead for $4.99. Amelia Clark, Lena Headey, and Peter Dinklage will not be at San Diego Comic-Con, most likely because they will call out Game of Thrones season 8 writing. I think it's pretty safe to assume that Lena Headey isn't happy. All right, Lena Headey was everything Hollywood says they want. Okay, she was one of the best villains on TV, if not the best villain on TV. She played that part to perfection. When I see Cersei Lannister in the book, I see her, even though she's too old for the role. Yes, she's too old. Everybody's too old in the show, by the way. Jon Snow is like 20 by the end. I mean, he starts out as 15-year-old. And Tyrion looks like a monster. He's missing half of his nose. He's got a big scar on his face. He in the book, he is hideous to begin with. Peter Dinklage is a handsome dude. Amelia, oh, well, that's my phone. It's probably, oh God, I hope it wasn't reacting to something I said. Listen. Everybody's happy. Amelia Clark, I think she's too nice. She might, you know what? I don't think she would do anything out of spite. I think she would answer the question honestly because she's cool. And Peter Dinklage, I want him to play the Doctor. You want to save Doctor Who right now, like right this second, you cast Peter Dinklage and you bring in Jamie Matheson to run the show. Yeah, thanks, Saroon of House Roundhead. I hope you had a good time, and thanks for sending me that stuff. By the way, I will sort through it and see if I can make something out of it. All out of, and of course, you get full credit, full credit. All out of bubblegum. Thanks again for the $5 super chat. I read that earlier. Taylor Ramirez, $2. Cannot wait for Game of Thrones 1. The prequel, or the Game of Thrones panel. $1 super chats are freebies from YouTube Premium, by the way. We'll send you that Twilight Zone info soon. Thank you, TJ Paris. And thank you for all the freebie super chats. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, let's go back to the panels. Can you guys see that? Okay, good. All right. And dude, again, we're at 11 a.m. on Thursday. So I'm going to try to rush through these and just get to the cringe. Oh, here we go. Hollywood Game Changers, a conversation with creative women behind popular films and TV projects. Man, it is just never going to end. So okay, so it's a conversation with creative women. Okay, so Judy Ray from Better Call Saul. Okay, that's a good show. Paula Fairfield from Game of Thrones. Well, it used to be. Clueless, Enchanted, Santa Clarita Diet, No, and No, the OA Part 2, and Watchmen, Megan Kasperlik. I have a feeling I'm really not going to like Watchmen. Melissa Burning from Space Jam 2, War of the Planet of the Apes, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, BoJack Horseman. Oh, man, you want to talk about animation for Transformers Cyberverse? Nah, I mean, that's great for a Transformers fan. Cosplay Universe. I've never been a cosplay person. I haven't. But remember, cosplay is not consent, everybody. Cosplay is not consent. So here's what you do with cosplayers at Comic-Con. Don't look at them. Don't take their picture. Don't give them any attention at all. And go about your day. Mattel and WWE Elite Squad fan panels. That's cool. Toys are cool. Syfy's Van Helsing. Yeah, hard pass. Oh, here we go. This is exciting. 7th annual musical anatomy of a superhero. I'd actually probably like. Oh, Batwoman. I'm a woman. There we go. And Supergirl. Afrofuturism. Black to the Future 2, The Revenge. It's time. This time it's personal. For decades, Daffy Duck was the only black actor getting any consistent work in Hollywood. Oh, boy. DC Meet the Publishers. Well, I would love to be at this panel. Dan Didio is it Didio, or I've always said Didio, so I could be wrong. And Jim Lee dished the latest on how they are destroying DC. Oh, I'm sorry, I put that in there. Filled with humor. Yeah, it's been kind of a joke lately. Breaking news. Well, the only thing breaking is your company and even the occasional superstar surprise panelist. Well, see, that's the thing they're effing concerned with. Now, I know some people like Dan Didio and Jim Lee. I don't know Dan Didio from a hole in the wall as a person, but I've never been the biggest fan of his work at DC. So, he's done some good things, but more bad, in my opinion. He's kept DC relevant. Every time they take one step forward, they take two steps back, and then they made the biggest mistake. And this might be a very unpopular opinion, by bringing in Jim Lee. By all accounts, super nice guy. Went to Princeton, and is not very good at running a company. He can't even finish a book. I don't know how you give a company to an artist who can't finish a book. I don't know how that even equates. And it was the company he was working for where he didn't finish the goddamn book. So, yeah. So DC's in trouble right now, and we're just going to keep rolling out these dudes. Okay. God, I miss Paul Evans. I miss that dude. Licensed on creators, Wings of Fire, Comics Pro Boot Camp. Nope. That one's canceled. Nope. Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones fan discussion. That might be an interesting one to go to be honest with you. This might be my very first panel. Oh, no, this is Thursday. Oh, I can tell you guys. I'm allowed to tell you guys. I was invited to an Orville event. Yes, indeed. I was invited to an Orville event, and I will tell you all about it, whatever I'm allowed to tell you once I go there. And yeah, this is my first presser, guys. Listen, I'm not going to become a shill. Don't worry. I love the Orville. And yeah, I'm going Thursday. So I'm very excited about that. And I wasn't sure if I could say anything, but I'm allowed to say something. So I was invited to an Orville. I was like, whoa, I'm shocked. I'm shocked I was invited to anything, to be honest with you. And it's an honor. It's a privilege. And I will tell you again, any Orville news I find out, I will pass it on to you. I feel bad. I genuinely, I'm really grateful I can go. It's too bad JP couldn't make it out to Comic-Con, because that guy has done great work for the Orville. So I just want to shout out JP at Egotastic Fun Time. I think he's a great channel and a good guy. But that panel right there, if I'm not going to the Orville presser, I'm going to this. A Song of Ice and Fire Game of Thrones fan discussion. It looks like it's a podcast of Ice and Fire, and I think it will be interesting to hear this, because I have a feeling it won't be just, oh, we love it. I don't think it'll be that at all, to be honest with you. Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. These are funny because, Bob Wayne. Panelists include Bob Wayne, who used to be like an outside rep for DC, and the lawyer from CBLDF, Giant, SJW, and everything. The artist, I remember one panel he did for Comics Pro. He's all, "We are at war. The creators at war." Diversity in manga. Many people love manga, but sometimes don't see themselves represented as often as they'd like, or even at all. Actually, I felt represented in Attack on Titan. I did. No, seriously, because I have my genitals. But this constant need to see yourself represented somewhere is a personal thing, not a group thing, especially in manga. Are we really going there? How many people are actually represented in the entire country of Japan? Last time I checked, a lot of people are Japanese in Japan, And it's not the most diverse country in the world. But okay, that's fine. Go ahead. I mean, I like Japan. My wife just went there and said it was great. Drawn and quarterly. Nope. My God, we're at 12 p.m. Hang on, okay, we're finally there. Oh, and now it's not loading anymore. That's great. So we'll just stop right there and I'll read a couple super chats. How are you guys doing? You guys okay? Yeah. Okay. Let this be let this be the first funded movie written by Doomcock and starring Scarlett Joe, perhaps about a vigilante in Hollywood who takes down pedo producers with her feminine wiles and hot legs. Daniel with a $10 super chat pitching a movie that I love that idea. We can have ScarJo as the yes, that would be great. She's a former actress who was blackballed for speaking the truth, and she decided to use what she knows to become a private eye, and then she uncovers the dark secrets of Hollywood. And when she tries to tell anybody, she finds out they're all protected, and she decides to take justice into her own hands, and she does it in her own deadly and sexy way. Script by Doomcock. I don't know who's directing it. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe one John Wick director or something like that. That would be great. Wakanda Bond, License to Shill, Token 007, says Anthony Zappin for $2. Unhank Cringe. You have to go to the Orville Experience outside the San Diego Convention Center. Oh, I'm going there. So the Orville, there's going to be an Orville Experience. There's going to be an Orville pop-up museum. And then there's something else that I'm going to. Sam Mickle. Don't know if you got my last one, but here you go. Thank you, Sam. And I'll make sure I got that last one. Tara Thralls, I emailed you prices. Can you send pins to San Diego, or is it not too late? It might. No, I don't think it's too late, Tara. I'll check the email tonight. This is from Sunday. Peter Davison, someone did an animated Captain Black Mysterion. What is this? Mysterion agent as James Bond pose, complete with holster, gun, etc. Looked really good. Oh, cool. Thank you for the $5, Peter Davison. Tom Ryder, Amazon Prime has done weekly with Grand Tour. Yes, you know what, Tim? You're right, Tim. They did drop Grand Tour weekly, so maybe they will with The Expanse. That's good. Brother Malachi, this talk reminds me of the best way to kill a business. Send the kid to business school where they learn info that is useless and is erroneous. And we were referring to the Inquisition. He's not referring to us. It was referring to the subject matter. Thank you, Brother Malachi. June Wong, what did you think of Red Letter Media's episode 9 time travel plot theory? I thought it was a pretty good theory. I mean, it's a terrible theory, but I think it could happen. I absolutely think it could happen. And I think they provided some pretty damn good evidence, to be honest with you. Those guys are pretty good, man. I like those guys. Carl Manvers, the Blacks caps were robbed. Push the damn button. Push the damn button. They were. Don't push the button. No, I have children. Jacob King, $1.99. Why announce the 007 change so early? That is a very good question, Jacob King, and I will provide you an answer in my video tomorrow. Hint, it's the same answer as to why they talked about Terminator so early. There was no interest in these films they were going to flop hard, and they still might. But they just rallied the freaking SJW NPC Access Media, and they just came out like the good little dogs they are. Cardinalson, hail Doomcock, hail Gary, and hail the chat and wrenches. Many people have never seen The Prisoner before. Dive into great classics like The Day the Earth Stood Still and Forbidden Planet. Well, all three of those things are great. The Prisoner, I'm not going to even say I understand it on the level of Doomcock. But I don't want to, because I want to watch it again. The Prisoner is something that requires minimum 3 viewings of the entire season. I mean, tell me if you guys disagree out there, but that is not something you can just watch once. And honestly, I am very happy. I am a grateful recovering addict, but I think it was a missed opportunity dropping a hit of acid and watching The Prisoner. Matthew Werney, the Bond villain to balance it for the ladies. Doomcock. That's true. That's true. Thanks for the $5. Loving the show. Great job telling it like it is, says Clockwork Badger. Thank you very much, Clockwork Badger. Thank you very much. Let's get to the chat here. Chris Baxter, is The Prisoner out on any streaming services? It is on Amazon Prime, Chris Baxter, if you're in the States. The Prisoner makes you think, says Larry. Yes. And again, I am kind of getting my head around it. It is of its time, but it is for one, the transfer on Amazon Prime is beautiful too. And just just the sheer style of that thing is brilliant beyond words. Beyond words. Let's see if this Comic-Con thing is loading, and I don't know why it's not loading. That's very interesting. That is too many damn panels too. Hang on just a second. There we go. Maybe that was it. Oh, okay. Here we go. I got it going again. You know what? I might have to do a part 2 on the panels thing, because I'm not going anywhere just yet. Don't worry. But there's a lot of goddamn panels. Comics and library. What's the library thing? Oh, it's okay. So if you get if you're a local comic shop in a big city, you can get a library deal. So you get hookup with the city, and the city libraries order their comics through your store. The only downside is you get paid, at least in San Francisco and in Oakland. So who's got the deal in San Francisco? I'm pretty sure it's Brian at Comics Experience. And I think Rory had it over in East Bay, but Rory's dead. This is a sweet deal. The thing is, you only get paid twice a year, but you get paid a lot. And it's basically comic book bailout, taxpayer money going towards largely SJW comics that go into your library. And especially in the Bay Area, you can only imagine, just whatever you imagine as a Bay Area librarian, that's it. Entertainment is LGBTQ. Boom Studios and GLAAD present an in-depth roundtable discussing about, okay, wonder who wrote this year's website here. Boom Studios and GLAAD present an in-depth roundtable discussing about LGBTQ representation in pop culture and the path forward to a brighter, more inclusive future, with panelists from all corners of the entertainment world, including Lila Sturgis, The Magicians, Alice's Story, and Lumberjanes. Actor, comedian Zachary Barrick, Spider-Man Far From Home. Cena Grace, Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, Ghosted in LA. Artist Noah Hayes, The Avant-Gardes. Megan Townsend, Director of Entertainment Research and Analysis at GLAAD, and more. Moderated by Josh Yen. Well, That seems like an evenly balanced panel there, right there. Secrets from Beyond, behind the camera with film and TV's top creatives. I'm looking to see if I recognize any of those names, and I don't. Oh, this is cool. Batman Beyond 20th anniversary. Great. Nope. The Toys That Made Us. That's good stuff right there. But we're looking for Cringe. Are the protagonists careers in geek fashion? Comic censor. Oh, this is interesting. Comic censorship in 2019. Learn how comics are under attack and what you think you can do to help, from lawsuits against schools for using LGBTQ comics to intimidation of manga readers by customs authorities and persecution of cartoonists around the world. Comic censorship remains an urgent problem. Yeah, I wonder who's persecuting those cartoonists around the world. You ever wonder that, everybody? I'm sure it's the alt-right in Syria persecuting cartoonists. And it's the alt-right in Dubai. I'm pretty convinced. I learned that from the mainstream media. The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund experts showcase the current censorship landscape at this riveting and informative presentation. I wonder if they're going to talk about the censorship that others are doing. I wonder if they're going to talk about the blackballing of comic book artists here in the States. Oh, it's happening. And why they had to go out and make their own comic books. I wonder if they're going to talk about the censorship of other comic book creators trying to stop independent comic book creators from putting comic books into comic stores. I wonder if they're going to talk about that. I wonder if I should bring it up. I wonder what the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund thinks about what happened to Richard Meyer. I think that would be a really good question, because I think it's right up the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund's alley, don't you think? I mean, it was a comic book. It needed defense. Now, he wouldn't, I'm sure Richard wouldn't use the CBLDF. Wouldn't blame him, but I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Creating kick-ass comic book women. Oh my God. I mean, you know what I really need is like 9 more panels on how kick-ass women are. Especially the 2-dimensional ones that aren't real in comic books. Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn. Do you think we want to really tell them why Harley Quinn is popular, or should we just keep it a secret at this point? Should we just keep it, under the rug? You know what I'm saying? Women have been kicking ass across panels and pages for decades. Yes. So why are we pointing this out? It's been decades. Flipping the script for newbies. Indiegogo. That's all this thing should say. Writers create dialogue and how they're control the dialogue with new landscape. Man, this is the most unself-aware comic. This current crop of comic book creators are clueless. On the Mike podcast, Rainbow Wall, Stargate Command celebrates Stargate Atlantis 15-year anniversary. Yay, Stargate fans. I'm sure you're very happy about that. You're wrong, Leonard Malton. Okay. Yeah, I'm always wrong. Just ask my wife. Law of the MCU. Drawing Stanley art. Art during the Holocaust. Fun. The pros of Comic-Con. I saw what you did there. It's the same people they've been dredging up for years. Roddenberry, Sci-Fi Imaging, Our Future. Marvel Games panel. SpongeBob's big birthday blowout. Now, that'd be kind of cool. A celebration of Stan Lee's life and legacy. And they're putting that in room 5AB. They're putting it in 5AB. Stan should have a panel at Hall H on Saturday at 7 p.m. with every freaking comic creator. Every Bob Iger should show up. Everybody should show up and pay homage to Stan in Hall H on fucking Saturday, and they're putting this in 5AB. Now, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope there's a bigger thing, but if this is all he gets at Comic-Con during its 50th anniversary, that is bullshit. DC Tom King. Hey, let's go to Tom King's panel and cry. Don't miss your chance to hear Tom King speak about Batman, Batman's dick, Mr. Miracle. I'm sorry, I didn't say Batman's dick. I said that. His journey from DC. I don't know if he even wrote that, but I just did. I wanted to put it in there. Batman crying. We can put Batman crying. Tom King, I don't believe, wrote Batman's dick, but he did write an 80-something comic run of a very sad Batman. And he did fool a bunch of comic book retailers in thinking Batman was going to marry Catwoman. He was complicit in this. So I don't think he is free of any guilt. Plus, he got one of my friends in trouble by ratting him out to DC. So Tom King is not only sad and depressed, he's a punk. He's a snitching punk. So I'm there. And a former CIA operative. Well, I'm certainly glad he's not working for the CIA anymore. Maybe that was part of the problem. Yeah, I don't like Tom King. Somebody messes with somebody I know, it gets personal. Judge Dredd, Super Cop, or satire? Yes. The answer is yes. I just answered that whole panel. Okay. Man. All right, we're going to take a little break. We're going to go to chat. Hi, everybody. I got a little fired up for that Tom King thing. Tom King is beta as frack. And I don't, you know what? That's something I don't say very often. So terms I don't use very often. Listen, I'm not against other people using these terms because they're applicable. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else because I don't use the terms. It's just taken me a while to get there, honestly. But they're very applicable. So I don't want to make it sound like, well, I only, because other people use them and they're overused or anything. No, I just, when it's applicable, I'll use them. And they are certainly applicable when it comes to Tom effing King. I might be seeing the person he did his little infraction to, and I'll talk to that person to see if they're willing to talk about it yet, because if you heard it, you'd be pissed. I respect you too, Chris Potts. Dude, why is this not loading? Why did it stop loading? And my internet sucks here so bad here. What if I go to Friday? Oh, now it's just gone. Now it's just disappeared. Let's go to Friday. Or not. Let's go to Friday. There we go. We got Friday up. Let's read a couple more of these. Bum, bum, bum. And then we'll get to the newer ones. My God, there was a lot here. At Dio Brandu, do you know, how would you describe Hollywood right now? Dio, mudda. Mudda means useless. Don't forget your promise, my lord. There's still JoJo. Says Wayward Astronaut for $10. Cardinal Sin gives 99 cents. And then Nicholas Horton for £2 said Skynet is apparently now called Legion. Oh, Malachi Dunn for $1.99. You missed mine. Let me see, Malachi, if I missed yours before. And I probably did because it jumped on me twice while I was doing this live stream. So let's make sure we get both of Malachi's here. There. Hail Lord Inquisitors. Have you heard of the Pyrian Chronicles? It actually has female characters rather than political ciphers or Mary Sues. I have not heard of the Pyrian Chronicles. But there is there's a lot of stories that have female characters that aren't Mary Sues. That's why it's especially annoying when we get the Mary Sue characters and then these companies, especially the big ones right now, roll these things out like they're the first ones doing it. They're patting themselves on the back, And we all see through the reason they do it, by the way. We all see through that it's superficial, and they're just trying to get not even woke points. They're trying to get the attention of the access media to do their work for them, because the less work, the better in Hollywood. Because believe it or not, you always hear the people going, they work so hard in Hollywood. They work so hard. Well, there are some people, there's a lot of post-production people, a lot of producers, a lot of set producers, a lot of assistant producers that actually truly do work their freaking tail off, work 12, 14, 16, 17 hours. But there's a large portion of Hollywood, usually the ones that are the most famous, who don't do dick. They work a couple, 3 hours a day. Their assistants do most of their work. I would say this is a large number of the executives, a lot of actors, a lot of the bigger name actors. They don't work hard. Okay. Hard work is in a mine. Hard work is assembling Teslas in a parking lot for 20 hours. That's freaking hard work. Hard work is underwater welding. Hard work is being deployed. Combat. That's hard work. I don't want to hear that from somebody pretending for a living. But the people in post-production, the people who are considered, just on the lower levels of Hollywood, they work their ass off. They do the lion's share of the work, get zero credit, get abused all fucking day by a bunch of sociopaths. And, they do it because they wanted to go to Hollywood and make movies and be part of a creative thing. But like I said, I worked at Technicolor, and I have never seen so many adults crying openly in my life outside of a funeral. It was every other day somebody, and this is men and women, were at their desk bawling because they got chewed out or because of the pressure or whatever. I worked with a gigantic asshole. This guy was a dick. You know what? Amazingly enough, I never cried. I just ignored him. Now, I wanted to sock him a couple times, but I just ignored him. You work with assholes sometimes, but Hollywood generally, there's a lot of nice talk, but the work environment can really suck. Sometimes there's good situations, but not the ones I've seen, man. Even in like independent films, you'd think they're fucking Stanley Kubrick. Every director thinks he is. They could have made Lynch 008 instead of 007, says Opinionated Uploads. Exactly. Now, Jeff, I guess, did a video on this, and I meant to ask him, if you're out there, Jeff, 007, it's not something that can be passed down, right? I mean, I don't know. I asked this because I don't know. You can answer it in the chat. I thought it was something that was assigned to that particular person. If they croaked, then they assigned a new number. I don't know if it's ever been, I don't know if this is part of canon, or I just don't know. Gary, you've got mail about the package I sent you as regards to San Diego Comic-Con. Good stuff to listen to while driving. You'll love it, and I think the chat will too. Awesome. Thanks, Cardinal Sin. Thank you. I don't know but I did not go by my P.O. box before I left because I had to get the hell out of Dodge. Double woke 7 LOL, says Opinionated Uploads. Exactly. Lord Lovecraft, Jesus Christ, Gary, are you doing a 24-hour stream? Maybe. No, I can't do those. I'm not. Doomcock is a warrior. He can do like Mauler type streams. Although I was on EFAP earlier, which was fun. Thanos says, with all 6 Infinity Stones, I will simply snap my fingers. All SJWs would cease to exist from fandom. I call that a blessing, says Baptist 702. Yeah. Usually you don't want to take anything out of the equation because the equation of reality and life and the fabric of the universe requires everything in it, except for that. I think if that was gone, I mean, they don't make the world better. They don't. They make it annoying. but I'm sick to death of them. But I am heading towards, well, let's be real. It's going to be, there'll be a lot of mostly normal fans, but the creatives there, it's going to be SJW Central. Tim Doyle, yeah, it's going to be interesting. What does Jeff at World Class Bullshitters think about Bond? I can't imagine he is happy. He's done a video on it and he's talked about it. I know he is probably the biggest Bond fan in the Phantom Menace, I would say, outside of maybe Tom or Andre, or maybe I would say equal. Doomcock's huge Bond fan. I love Bond. I'm not the biggest fan, but I've seen every movie multiple times. Own the films. I own my Sideshow Moonraker and Jaws, which I love. I need to put those on the wall. I do. Do you watch horror/thrillers, and have you seen the movie titled As Above, So Below about the French catacombs? I enjoyed it. I will check it out, Disabled Llama. I have not seen that. And thank you, Secret Rebel, for $2. And Brother Malachi. And last one, Opinionated Uploads. Woke 007 could be good, but it's still tokenism. No, there's no way in hell I'm sorry, Opinionated Uploads. A woke 007 could never be good. Ever. Not unless a clever way to do it was you make your villain a giant SJW, like a giant Hollywood elitist SJW, and then you make him the villain. Then it could be good. And I want him eaten alive by ill-tempered sea bass with laser beams. All right, so we are done with that. Let's see if this stupid thing will load. No, it's not going to. So we're going to, what the hell? That's my phone. Is somebody messaging me? Hang on. Hold the phone. It's way too late to be getting messages. It's midnight. Might be my wife telling me to go to bed. Don't tell me what to do, girl. I'm kidding. She wouldn't tell me that. Cucumber for Australian $100. Thank you, Q. You're a top bloke, Gary. From one comic nerd to another. Keep up the great work. And I'm going to call you Bruce. Thank you, Cucumber. And you are brilliant. I don't know if you're a bloke. I can't assume your gender. But thank you. Taylor Ramirez. I bet the Japanese are going to laugh in their faces. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Jonathan Velasquez. My apologies, Jonathan, for $1. Thank you very much. Taylor Ramirez for $2. The panel, LOL. Yes. They're so cringe. Care for a jelly baby. Oh man, Care for a Jelly Baby. I found a shop which is very close to me that has a shitload of Doctor Who toys, and it made me think. The shop is called Comics and Stuff in San Diego, and they've always had a good Doctor Who selection. It was almost as big as mine and almost as good as mine, but not quite, because they only had like modern stuff. I actually mixed in some like really old vintage stuff with mine, but it's respectable, and it really shows you how there's no Jodie toys anywhere. They had one thing. And everything else was pretty much late Tennant era, Matt Smith, 5th, 6th season era, and then everything stopped merchandise-wise. Completely stopped. They were making all kinds of great classic Doctor stuff too. Just brilliant. I'm going to go clean up on that, but I got to wait till after con, because, you never know what you find at con. Waking up to you doing a live stream has made my day. Love you, Gary from the UK. Hey, right back at you, Care for a Jelly Baby. I'll be in the UK. And maybe very soon. We're talking a couple months. It's on the docket. It looks like if it depends on Mrs. Nerdrotic, because it's kind of me glomming on to one of her, hair trips. If she can, get some work out there, then we can go. And that's like 2 weeks. I'd be out there 2 weeks. That would be freaking brilliant. TJ Paris for $5 just sent you an email with some Hollywood cringe in it. A little late, but enjoy. I will check it out. Thank you. I was on acid. I was an acid head. You missed nothing, says Chris Potts. I did. I probably wouldn't have understood it. It might have freaked me out. I don't know. Echo Based Network sent you a DM on Twitter. Are you going to the panel? John Campia will be on, and meet him. If you guys see him, go to get a picture. You're funny. If Robert Meyer Burnett is at that panel, I would go, because I actually want to meet Robert Meyer Burnett and have a coffee with that guy, because we disagree on a lot of things. But the one thing I like about Robert Meyer Burnett is he doesn't call, he disagrees with us a lot. And I do not agree with him on a lot of takes, but he doesn't call any fans toxic. He'll say there's toxicity within the fandom. There's toxicity within humanity. Okay. So if you're talking about your garden average variety of bad people and bad actors, well, that's just humanity. That's not fandom. But John Campia, I actually would love for him and Jeremy to meet. I think that would be interesting. I hope he's wearing his Captain Marvel sweatshirt. Echo Based Network for $9.99. Did you see the clip of Campia getting trolled? It's on our Twitter, Odin's and World Class Bullshitters. It's freaking hilarious. Got our giveaway going as well until Sunday for retro Star Wars figures. Please go to Echo Based Network. They are a great couple of members of the Fandom Menace. Nicholas Glenn, of course. What's up, Nick? And please subscribe to their channel. Echo Based Network. Chaotic Old Boar for Australian $10. Please buy yourself a beer or beverage of choice. Thanks for all you do. Well, thank you, Chaotic Old Boar. I greatly appreciate it. For Australian $10. I do not partake in the alcohol, but I will gladly use it for caffeine. Gladly. There's there is Mexican Iron Man. Dude, great work, by the way, my friend. I saw your Doomcox video. That was great. Gary, is there a pop-up Nerdrotic comic store in the future? If so, I think it would be great to cross-pollinate and feature the amazing new titles from the Comic Skater guys. They have them come out to sign. What do you think? Well, thank you for the $19.99. That is been on my mind. So there is a pop-up in the future during the holidays. So we're talking, I mean, it'll be tough to get Comic Skaters out because Comic Skaters are generally good family guys, and they're going to want to hang out with their families during the holidays. But if we could work something out where I did a pop-up, and the only new comics I offered were, say, I don't know, Indiegogo comics in San Francisco, and then we brought out a bunch of Comic Skaters in San Francisco, while the turnout may be surprisingly good, and it would be funny to kind of come to the belly of the beast and do some Comicscape fun. I think that would be a great idea. I don't know if everybody would be for it, but it's certainly something to think about. And thanks, Mexican Iron Man. Again, good work at Disneyland. Please check out Doomcock's video. It featured Mexican Iron Man. It was great. All right. And now we're going to get back to the cringe. Back to the cringe. Hi, everybody. Again, this will be on, I just posted this morning's on the website. This one will be completely gone and on Nerdrotic Live and the website tomorrow morning. Okay, so just so you know, you guys know the drill. Got to please the algorithmic gods for some okay, so I'll real quick. Longer live streams, even if somebody watches it, say it's a 2-hour live stream, somebody watches it for 20 minutes, YouTube does not consider that good engagement. So they start recommending your channel less because people are dipping out early, even though 20 minutes is a good long time to watch, average long time to watch a live stream. Mine generally average half an hour, which is pretty good. But it's still, you know, sometimes it doesn't hurt at all. Sometimes it does. I am not going to begin to try to figure it out. DC Daily, Dynamic Story Creation, graphic novels, Jimmy Olsen, pinball and comics. I have a Spider-Man pinball machine. I need to get it in my studio somehow. It's in my garage. Wow, there's a serious lack of cringe in this one. Oh, that 70s panel? Ugh. Sci-fi wires, it came from the 90s. Cartoon Network. Comic Book Law School. Is Greenberg on this one? Nope, no Greenberg. Where are you? What's the matter, Mark? You're not getting invited to Comic-Con anymore? Did you piss somebody off? Conversation with the Russo brothers after Endgame. Where does the comic genre go from here? Oh, here it is. After Endgame, where does the comic genre go from here? Kyle Newman, director of the film Fanboys. John Campea, The Campea Show. Christian Harloff, creator of Movie Trivia Schmodown. And Chris Gore, creator of Film Threat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Gore, you might have seen him in our chat because he's been in our chat for our live streams. And I'm hoping to meet him. I'm going to DM him later. I will just say that he has chatted and thanked me and others for what we're doing here. So, I mean, I don't want to out the guy, but maybe he's one of us. That might be a good thing. So, our boy Chris Gore, we're going to support Chris Gore. Now, he used to do DVD Doomsday on Attack of the Show, and he has worn my comic shop's shirt on that show before. So, I like Chris Gore. Yeah, there you go. Echo Base Network. Comics journalism. It doesn't exist. Who's there? Comics journalism and James Viscardi from comicbook.com, which writes about Star Trek. Rosie Knight from the Nerdist. Nerdophiles, Geek Mom, and Women Write About Comics. God, dude, this. You know, pulling the woman card is so ridiculously cringe at this point. A woman writing about comics, like saying that, hey, I am like the only woman writing about comics. Well, I don't know who this woman is from Adam, but I've been a comic fan for multiple decades. There's been a lot of women writing for comics. You're not the goddamn first. Everybody acts like they're the fucking first, and they pull these. I'm going to start yelling, and I can't do that. Oh, finance your indie comic now. This isn't the one. This isn't the Indiegogo one. Finance your indie comic now. The Antidote Trust, TAT, America's premier independent creator collective. Oh, brings together an illustrious panel to examine the many ways of securing funds to publish independent comics. The discussion is moderated by veterans comic writer and editor Barbara Kessel from Shadow Zone, Mine, DC Comics, and CrossGen. Now, I am actually a fan of CrossGen. I am the fan. I am the one who was the fan of CrossGen. Panelists include Fanbase press editor-in-chief Barbara Dillon, writer and actor Kevin Graveau, creator of Underworld and the Blue Marvel, TAT founder and writer-illustrator Robert Roach, Mentha the Roach, filmmaker and comic book creator Andre Owens, Force Galaxia and the Bovine League, and illustrator Quinn McGowan, Project Wildfire. Finance your indie comic book now. So what are they like getting fine? I mean, Indiegogo that shit. I mean, be good. Oh man, there's a second Fun with Funko panel. Yay. Women of the Hollywood art department. Followed by Build a Better World Through Gaming, a Women in Gaming panel. Jesus Christ. Oh, God, they're laying it on so thick. You know what? I am going to, listen, you have a promise. I am going to check some of these panels out, and I'm going to get pictures, and I'm going to see how many people are actually attending these panels. So I went to the Diversity in Comics one last year, and I was very shocked to see 20 people in that room. I think, oh my God, we haven't seen an all-woman panel yet. What's going on? The sexists. The Nerdist News Live. That's a fine organization that threw their founder under the bus as soon as he got Me Too'd. And then it turned out he didn't do it. And they still threw him under the bus. What a bunch of nice, nice people. World premiere Hulu's Veronica Mars revival. Now, Mrs. Nerdrotic is really excited about this. And, I used to like Veronica Mars when it came out the first season. I thought it was good. But this is just going to be it's going to be woke as hell. And I told her that. I'm like, honey, this is going to be so woke. It's going to make me puke. So, yeah. It'd be kind of like if they brought back Buffy right now. It just wouldn't be watchable. Adult Swim, Robot Chicken, Seth Green. Oh, a video message from, dude, you can't get your stoner butt to Comic-Con. Oh, Seth big timed him, man. Look at that. Seth Green used to shop at my booth every year. A fan celebration of Batman and animation. That'd be a good panel, to be honest with you. I'd go to that one. Blade Runner spins into comics. No, don't care about Blade Runner 2049. Building a geek brand that changes the world. Do you dare dream of converting your nerd passion into a full-time career, but feel overwhelmed by the next steps? Whether writing your first book, becoming a YouTube personality, or creating an innovative product, the road to success can be filled with many obstacles and pitfalls. The panel of geek pros will help you get started, discover some shortcuts, and inspire. Okay, number one, there are no shortcuts. You have to get good before you figure out shortcuts. That's my advice. Don't take any effing shortcuts. And inspire you to make an impact in pop culture. Panelists include Tony B. Kim, Hero Within, Trisha Hirschberger, media host, Janice Davis, author, Victor Danbridge, artist, and Stella Chu, pro cosplayer. In other words, very attractive person. Sorry. Who are the YouTubers in there? Did I miss the YouTuber in there? Is there one I don't recognize? I mean, I don't recognize every YouTuber. I'm not trying to sound like a dick or anything. I just I don't know every YouTuber. Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, take pride in comics. Why are comics and other literature centered on LGBTQ plus characters targeted so frequently by censors? Where? I want receipts. What can be done to ensure these important books stay on the shelves? Well, I mean, are they explicit? Are they like porn comics? I mean, straight or gay, that stuff wasn't on my shelves. I was banning the hell out of it out of my store. I didn't put any freaking porn in my store. Comic books are for kids and adult-sized kids. They aren't freaking creepy, especially, honestly, in San Francisco, you get some weird-ass people in there. I ever tell you the story why you had to the only rule I had in the shop, steadfast rule, was you couldn't use the bathroom, because the first week I owned it, there was a guy in the bathroom, and like I walked in on that shit. So all the adult comics were gone after that and never returned. Never, ever returned. And that is etched in my brain forever. Embracing your inner geek, an interactive self-care workshop. Why is this? With assistance of merge our love of fandom with strategies for mental well. Mental wellness. Participants will learn to create their own fandom oriented self affirmation care, plans to build positive self value. She is joined by Joy. You know what? I laugh at this, but I shouldn't, because insecurity amongst geekdom is a real problem and leads to a lot of SJWism. Entertaining science, the real fake, and sometimes ridiculous way science is used in film, TV. That sounds boring. Let's pull all the fun out of everything. Excelsior, remembering Stan Lee. So he gets a bunch of little panels every day. That's bullshit. Fear the Walking Dead. Oh, this could be my favorite panel. Feminist comics that rock. Let's celebrate the diversity of strong female characters, authors, and publishers in contemporary comics. Panelists include Raina Talgmain, or I'm terrible with names, Guts, Peggy Burns, publisher, Drawn and Quarterly, Claudia Aguirre, Morning in America, and Jennifer Holm, Sunny Rolls the Dice, moderated by Candace Mack, Eisner Awards judge, Los Angeles Public Library, in conjunction with CBC Graphic Novel Committee. By the way, when somebody's from the public library, they work for the state. Just you guys know the obvious there. Joe Hill and Gabe Rodriguez, Lock and Key Spectacular, Psychology of the Potterverse. A lot of Harry Potter fans are crazy. Star Wars collectibles update from Lucasfilm's Brian Merton. Please come buy our toys. Please, please. We're sorry. We'll make better toys. And Jeff at World Class Bullshitter, stop making videos about our toys. The exhibitors of Comic-Con. I don't know any of those people. What is a Tech Nubian Image Comics Masterclass DC Superhero? Girls' new episode premiere. I needed a female panel. We were getting kind of light on that one. Spotlight on John Cook. Spotlight on Seth MacFarlane. That's the only Seth I give a shit about. Rick and Morty. There's your Rick and Morty stuff right there. Becoming a board game designer behind Star Wars. We're breaking into indie comics with Alterna. Hey, we like Alterna. We like Alterna. That's a good place right there. CBLDF, making great comics programs for schools and libraries. You know what? I don't ever remember libraries being mentioned this much. Something is up with that. What's the best way to spread public propaganda through a public library? I mean, that's the first thing I'm thinking. Am I wrong on that one, guys? Dress to Impress, refining sewing skills for cosplay. Dynamite Entertainment 15th anniversary premiere publisher. Oh, look at that right there. I was wondering if he was going to be there. Derek Robertson. So I'll probably go to this panel. Yeah. Dynamite Entertainment is run by Nick Verrucci, Ethan Van Sciver, Nick Verrucci, sorry. Ethan Van Sciver has talked about him a lot, and he's going to be there. And Gail Simone's going to be there, though. Oh, never mind. Okay, but Hollywood Location Scouts, LGBTQ plus YA graphic novels. Making a Bridge with Genre Movies, Masterclass, Ripped from Pulp, Real World Threats to Mankind. Let me guess, comics about climate change? Is that what that's going to be? I'm surprised they didn't say climate change in there. Steven Universe, Walking Dead. What's the best superpower? Dancing Frog, medium rare, functional aesthetics, Marvel Comics Spider-Man. Conversation with no. Are girls turning into killer cats? No, just some girls are turning into cat ladies. Bringing films to Comic-Con, building cinematics dreams. Career paths into gaming development, cosplay fandom with a purpose. Uh, I mean, listen, I can recognize it as an art for sure. I guess that's a purpose. I mean, I don't think you're, making the world a better place. Some of that stuff is cool. I'm just not into it. Never been a Hasbro Star Wars. Nah. Head drawing in an International Association of Media Tie-in Writers Scribe Awards. In other words, 1 foot out of the comic book industry, and then it just stops loading for some reason. Okay, I'm back. How you guys doing? Hope everybody's having fun this late evening. It is 12:31 a.m. Okay. Not so scruffy nerf herder Australian $5 afternoon, Gary and all. I thought you were going to blow a fuse there, Gary. Don't worry, mate. I blow plenty of them. A wash with spares. LOL. Right on. I'll need them. Rob Robo, Australian $20, and thank you for the $5 Australian dollars. Lots of Aussies in the chat. Good afternoon, Aussies. Can I use your loo? Yes. It's right over there. Feel free. Jaloja. Okay. Towards the end of this, let's show what the thumbnail was supposed to be. This was what the thumbnail was supposed to be. I got to show EVS how to eat pie properly. Is that the name? Ronan Blade, is that the name of his biography? I'm just kidding, EVS. I like pie. I love pie. Dr. Venkman, what's up? Cinema Queen. There's my Cinema Queen. One of the bestest wrenches ever. Derek McManus, how are you? Almost 850 on at 3 a.m. Really? Are there many people watching me read off freaking San Diego Soy Con? Oh, Mighty Wolf. I wish I could name the video that, but yeah, I'm going to save the next 2 days for tomorrow. And who knows, maybe I'll have a guest to read. You know what I'm looking forward to the most? Doing a car video with Jeremy. Yeah, San Diego Cringe Con. Like the Cringe panels, I'm not kidding. They used to be like 5 or 6 for the entire weekend. How many did I read? 20? There's 20, and there had to be at least 10 separate, all kick-ass women of matte painting, kick-ass women of lettering, kick-ass women of interning, and kick-ass women of whatever, Yeah, I lost count too. Nihilist Shadow, yes. If they allow me to make a video or take pictures of the Orville stuff, I will. I'm gonna ask, but I'm also gonna be the best guest I can be, best behaved guest I can be, because I thought it was very nice to be asked, and I am really excited about it. So yes, one of the producers of the Orville invited me to a thing, and I was just shocked. I was so happy. I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not like into celebrities or anything like that. I'm not that kind of person. I like their work. I like the creative work. I am happy as can be hanging out with my friends, or that's all I care about. And I am looking forward to the meetup. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. I'm looking forward to meeting Jeremy and maybe some other, hopefully like Jesse's going to drive down. I mean, she probably won't, but if she does, I'll buy her dinner. I'm looking forward to meeting y'all. I honestly don't have to set a foot in the con. It wouldn't hurt at all. Gary, showing some love from the upside down. Keep fighting the good fight. Good day, Disabled Llama. Man, the Australians are representing today. I got to do more late night Australian streams. These are brilliant. Darth Scipio, are you the next member of the High Council? We got to know. No, I couldn't. What? Jeremy's not really leaving the High Council, is he? Um. Oh, that's not a question. I got to find out what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Uh. Uh. Yeah, I hope everything's okay. Well, I'll find out because I'll be talking to Jeremy tomorrow. I'll be hanging out with Jeremy. Manager haircut, LOL. That's right. You know what? I'm sure you guys noticed I got my haircut, but I couldn't get my beard trimmed. It's pretty scraggly right now. Death to the patriarchy. Yes, Captain Mary Sue SJW. Why don't they just come out with a death to the patriarchy panel? Why don't they just come out? Hall H, death to the patriarchy panel. We want to destroy comics. Let's kill it dead. Let's kill it dead right now. All those alt-right Nazis are killing everything and they're going to come and get us. So kill them all. Dr. Venkman, did you see Optimus Prime Ghostbusters toy? Ooh, no, but I will look for that. That would be cool as hell. Do you want one, Dr. Venkman? I mean, all you have to do is ask. I can try. I'm looking for stuff for Matthew Matson and a couple of other people. I can't make any promises though, because I have a strong aversion to waiting in lines. Like to me, I know this sounds terrible, but I would rather overpay something to a certain degree, overpay for something than wait in a line. Time is more valuable than money. You are honestly brilliant. Keep it up, Gary. All the love from Australia. Amina, thank you very much for the Australian $5 and the very kind words. I do my best. I don't know how exactly brilliant I am, but I'm okay. Afternoon, Gary, and all. I thought you were going to. I already read that one. Damn it, Gary. I think I'm caught up. Let me just go back up, make sure nothing jumped on me like they did before. Of course, if I ever miss one, there'll be another live stream tomorrow morning and another one in the evening. So yeah, Australia, you're getting a lot of live streams because a lot of them will probably be at 11 at the because I'm probably going to go out late. Lick that light, folks. For Sports Wars. Really? Okay. Why did they make that? Okay. I mean, that's, Sports Wars maybe is kicking some ass you got to focus on your things. I'm sure they're all still friends. I love those guys. But they had Mahler on tonight. I mean, I'm sure people would prefer Mahler over me. I would prefer Mahler over me. That sucks though. I like the High Council. I like Jeremy, EVS, and Jeff. It's the end of an era, man. That's whoa. But I am a proud member of the Inquisition. Doomcock and I we've been throwing around a live stream, like a regular live stream to do for a year. And we finally got it off the ground. And I think it's, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. But I love Jeremy. What he does at Geeks and Gamers is an inspiration. There's Spartan Jeremy right there. Jeremy he's successful because of his drive. That's it. That guy is tenacious as fuck. Jeremy is just getting too busy for him to be regular appearance on the High Council, so he stepped down. God dang. Okay. Yeah, I can identify with being too busy. I all out of bubblegum. I'll catch it. Sorry about that. I apologize, my friend. I know you sent one earlier. Was there another one after? I'll read this one again, and maybe I missed it. I apologize. Thank you for taking one for the team, Gary. Reading that crud, and the sound that that everyone heard was the 300 people doing an eye roll. Did you do one before after that? Because I read that one earlier. I don't mind reading them again, though. Again, I do apologize. You probably have one down here. Hang on. And And there it did indeed jump on me. So there it is. You're right. Okay. I love the Australian people. They have the best dash cam videos. Is it better than Russia? All out of bubblegum? I'll have to watch some of those. Australia is freaking cool. Now you got to work on your government a little bit there, but the people of Australia kick ass. Okay. It's kind of a rebel country. It's something I respect greatly. Thank you, Spartan Jeremy, for the info. I mean, like, all I want to do is support everybody. So the High Council will probably continue. Those guys are brilliant. And yeah. Thank you, All Out of Bubblegum, for reaching out. I still, yeah, I did miss that one. Damn it. Sorry. Grimmy, here are more Aussie dollars. Thank you, Grimmy. I appreciate it for $5 Australian dollars. Ian Wood for $5. You don't like waiting in line, but might be coming to the UK. We invented the queue. You'll hate it. LOL. Ian Wood. I've been to the UK, and you're right. There's lots of waiting there. But maybe it's just because I'm so damn happy to be there. I do like London town. I know it's filled with Londoners. No, I like London. You should pull up the image I emailed you before you sign off. If you feel like it, stream enjoy. I'll check it out. Hang on. Let's see if I can. Did you emailed it or did you just say you DM'd it? My memory just is shot as fuck. Emailed. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, so, okay. Hang on. Is this the right one? Yes, I'll pull this up. Let's pull this up right here. What's this from? What is this from? I am curious. And there it is right there. Okay. Superheroes, LGBTQ plus writers giving a voice to the hero in all of us. Thursday, 6:20, 7:30. So this must be another con. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super Queeros. The WGA's LGBTQ plus and genre committee's combined panel on queer representation in superhero genre will focus on queer superheroes and the heroes who write them. Come celebrate Pride Month. Our terrific panel of LGBTQ. Our heroes include Emilio Aldrich, Arrow, Hilliard Guys, Deadly Class, Tom Farrell, Doom Patrol, Drew Greenberg, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nancy Koo, Batwoman, and more. Oh, God, including an equity specialist, an equality. I said equity. What the hell's this got to do with like home loans? But it says equity. I don't know. That looks like a typical panel at San Diego Comic-Con these days. Listen, it's a trend. It certainly has its place in comics. I'm not saying it doesn't have its place, but it's everywhere right now, and it's a symptom of the problem of the over politicizing and agendizing, for lack of a better word, comic books. A beautiful medium, one of the best in the ever. It's my favorite one, and also one of the most simple that they have found a way to screw up because insane people run the business now. There used to be business people in charge herding these cats and keeping them in line. They're not doing that anymore, and they are suffering, and the industry is dying. My beloved comic book industry, which I was proud to be a professional in, selling comics. I wasn't a creative, but I was a retailer. And I got to connect with fans on a level that nobody in the industry gets to do. I mean, I talked to them every single day for hours, every single day, and loved it. Never got tired of it. Miss it to this day. And that's what helps with the live streams. But that was my favorite part of the job, was just sitting around shooting the shit with my friends at the comic store. And You know, and that's why I can kind of see the, you know, it's like being a bartender, but without the drunk assholes. It's really cool. Um, and it's dying, and it's sad because the people in it don't even want to be in it. Um, it's funny that I heard Richard say this in his videos because I said this early on in my shop is the comic industry is a self-loathing industry. I mean, nobody's just happy to be a comic book writer and artist in the industry right now. There's people out there who would be more than happy of it. A great example, you know, most of the older guys just wanted to be comic book writers and artists. That's it. John Byrne is a great example of that. But you're seeing with the Indiegogo, the people who should be in the industry because they just want to make comics. They don't want to write a script. They don't want to direct a Hollywood film. They don't want to, you know, meet a bunch of actors and get a bunch of access so they can tweet about it. For the most part, they just want to make comics on the side. Most of them have day jobs that they don't plan on leaving. And that's what it's all about. So, like I said last night, I was skeptical at first. I thought it would do well, but I didn't think it would do this well. And I am very happy to be wrong on this. Extremely happy because at least it's going to live on in some way and the right way. Digital is not the future. Digital's not the future, and maybe comic book retail shops aren't. Now there can always be some shops, and I plan on putting up one, but it's not going to be carrying new comics. This is going to, you know, it's going to be, you know, a vinyl comic. It's going to be a vintage shop of cool stuff, a pop culture vintage shop that will just be mostly old comics and old toys, but no new comics. They're boring. They're terrible. They're drawn poorly. The colors suck. I hate the color palette of 95% of the comics out there. That's why it was, you know, when you see Doug Ernst Soul Finder, that thing is awesome, man. And Jawbreakers was good. It was actually a good comic book. I wouldn't, if it wasn't good, I would say, hey, at least the John Malin art was good, but you know, it was kind of written, kind of boring. I enjoyed it. And so did Nerdrotic Jr. And yes, I let my kid read Zach's book and he didn't turn into a Nazi. I know, the craziest thing. So, I hope it works for those guys. I hope this model works. And as long as we avoid infighting, which I mean, it's going to happen, but you know, hopefully not too much, then I want it. And even if it does, I still want it to succeed. So we'll find out. We'll find out how much it's talked about. We'll find out how important comics really are. Each year, comic books become less important. The comic book area where actual comic book retailers are gets smaller, and we'll see how small it is this year. So in the meantime, let me make sure I didn't get any more of those super chatty things before I go here, but I'm going to go because I got to save some. I got to pace myself. Jeremy's thank you very much. Sign off cracks me up every time. Says not so scruffy nerf herder Australian $5. It cracks me up too. It's perfect. Email sent to press for RSVP. Oh, okay. Thank you, TJ Paris. Check out Dashcam Owners Australia YouTube channel for actual Aussie compilations. They do monthly collections. That's brilliant. Thank you for the Australian $5. I swear to God, the celebrity crush I would geek out on is Christina Ricci. Do you have one? Celebrity crush. I like she's like Aubrey Plaza. I like Aubrey Plaza. She's my kind of crazy. You should so all right. So we're Captain Mary Sue SJW. How about we have our Las Vegas meetup at the Sterling Brunch Buffet at Bally's? Ace lobster, caviar, king crab legs, filet mignon, prime rib for Fandom Menace. That's not a bad idea. Actually, I was talking to Tom about the Las Vegas meetup, and I'm thinking we should do the Millennium Fandom Bar. We need to pick a day. I'll ask to see if I can rent it out. If not, I'd say we just go anyway. It's a bar. We'll be customers. I don't think they'll complain, but I'll ask and see if we can. It depends. If it's just going to be like 10 of us, then we can just roll in. That's what I think we should do. So Millennium Fandom Bar, I'll pick a day. Let me get through a couple days of Comic-Con first, because I haven't even fully decided on everything I'm doing here. I have nothing set in stone other than a meetup tomorrow at 5 p.m. at Adams, Lestat's on Adams, and the Orville thing. Okay, so keep an eye on the website, everybody. This one will be up for a little while it's processing, but then I'm going to pull it down and put it on Nerdrotic Live. Please share it when it does that. I'll post it in the community section here, and it'll also be on my website. Thank you, Christy Miller. Thank you, Cinema Queen. You guys do freaking brilliant work around here. Nyla Shadow, thank you. Thank you for the wrenches. Let me see if we got any more. Echo Base Network. Jeremy will be missed for sure. You and Doomcock were brought up as being the replacement third person. I am honored that I was considered. Yeah. Yeah. I'll listen. Well, I've got to listen to the rest of the High Council. I do. It's truly an honor to be considered. There's Anna out there too. You know, Jesse. There's a lot of people who could come in and it'd be cool. Maybe they should rotate. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jeremy said he'd probably come back for a couple, right? Yeah. But in the meantime, Eric K for $5. Hey Gary, you ever think Disney may hire some extras when you go make it look good? I don't think that. If it was CBS, if it was something I was doing against CBS, you bet your ass they would freaking do something to make me look bad or to make any of us look bad. I don't think Disney knows I exist, but and I don't think CBS knows either, really, to be honest with you. But you did hear the news. Star Trek Discovery goes into production in 1 month. I don't know who the hell's paying for it, but somebody must have. My guess, I've reached out to my insider, but he hasn't got back to me. My guess is who? Amazon paid for it. Either that or Netflix is legally obligated. I don't know how they'd be legally obligated. Well, if they signed a contract, I guess they could be legally obligated to pay for it. So we'll see. I would geek out if you had a cameo on the Boys TV show, says Dr. Venkman. I would too. They're showing the first 2 episodes at Con. Derek's down here. I'm going to find him. I'll find him. I can't think. Yeah. It's kind of a rough position Derek's in because my opinions go against most of the comic book community. If they need views, get a young and sexy guy like me as the third person. Halam 899 live. You're definitely young. I don't know if you're sexy or not, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it, my friend. All right. Hey, listen, make more Discovery. That just gives me guaranteed content. I mean, things are slow right now, but so if they go into production now, they'll fire the showrunner halfway through, get a new showrunner, scramble to write scripts, then be in post for 8 months. So yeah, we're not getting it until 2021. I promise you. Or a split season. We'll get a split season. It'll be fewer episodes. And it will suck. It will absolutely 100% suck. No doubt about it. Alex Kurtzman's name's involved in any way, shape, or form. It will suck. All right. I'm really going to go now. Thank you very much. Thank you for so many of you staying up late with me tonight. I'll be on the air sometime tomorrow. And keep an eye on nerdrotic.com. And you all be good to each other because, there's a lot of creatives out there who just don't like you. Don't give them money. Don't support them. Even if it's on the fence right now, we hold back our money. That's the only way they're going to listen. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is empty. This is a good thing. This is fans having enough. Good night, everybody. And may the free folks sing songs of your greatness.